Good morning, welcome back to my channel. My name's Nina and this is A Really Good Life. I have not vlogged for the past 2 months. I've had a bit of a break, so I thought I'd let you know why. Firstly, it's the last 6 weeks off work. I've had an exacerbation of MS, spent some time in hospital, but we are starting 2021 off on a very positive note. I'm starting a new job. Oh! There's Chef going past in the taxi. They are a company that are involved in specialist disability accommodation in the NDIS space, and my new role will be helping to transition NDIS participants into housing. Today I'm moving into my new office.
So exciting.
I know, it's so exciting. This is Pepper, by the way. Hi Pepper. And I'm going to take you along and show you a little bit behind the scenes. I'm really excited. I'm really excited. Do you like my new glasses? I just got these frames only a few days ago. They are by Versace from OPSM and they cost me $750 for the frame and the lenses. But the lenses is the most expensive part only because I have really high prescriptions. Now I didn't set out to get Versace glasses. I'm not concerned about it being a designer brand. I just wanted something that was just that little bit funky, a little bit different, and I certainly got that with these. I always remember when I was growing up with mum as a single parent, I always remember having to go into OPSM and she could never afford the mainstream glasses, so I'd always have to use like the New South Wales Spectacles program, and there'd be frames in a grey felt box and they were always kept underneath the counter, and they'd bring them out and you'd have to hand over this form that shows how much you've got in the bank. You're literally having to give that kind of private information away. You might only have like a handful of frames to choose from, but I was grateful for it, but there was always that kind of stigmatizing effect. Not these days, baby. Today we are rocking Versace. My life's changed, but I'll always think about that when I go into OPSM. I just sent Pepper in to drop off the keys to my old office. We're waiting for the boys to arrive and to load up my wheelchair accessible desk, executive chair, my filing cabinet, all that stuff, and then take it to the new office. All right, so this is one of the Sill apartments. I'll give you a bit of a quick look around. The removalists are just about to turn up. Got the laundry there. This is the living room space. That's my chair here. So this is kind of going to be my office. On a temporary basis until we move to another premises. I've got a bedroom through here, so I can definitely get some sheets put on that. I can have a nap during the day if I need it. Bathroom, and I'm going to set my office up. There's a second bathroom there. I'm going to set my office up in this smaller space. This is the second bedroom, just because if anyone's using the main area out there, it's just going to be a lot quieter for me, and because I've lost hearing since the relapse, I want to be able to have an office with like a door so I can shut it when I need to. I'll take you out on the balcony and show you around. So this is just the balcony. This is the view from my office. There's Wollongong in the distance. Wollongong Hospital is just over there. Hopefully I can take you up on the roof at some point too and show you that, but let's go back inside. I'm really excited. The boys are coming up to bring my stuff in, and then we'll have a little bit of a chat about how I'm feeling about this whole process.
Say hey. These are two wonderful men that brought Nina's office together. Well, we're getting there, aren't we?
So far so good.
I just want to show you around. This is the rooftop communal area, so you can... That's okay. I'm not going to come with you into the bathroom. So this is where you can bring family and extra visitors if you simply don't have enough room in your apartment. Look at the view. You see behind me? All the way into Wollongong. So we're in a really central location and it is accessible. We've got a wheelchair ramp down here. Fantastic. Oh my God, it's not locked. I'll take you out onto the rooftop. Now on a sunny day, it is just a beautiful spot to come out and relax. Now it's not finished. This is a brand new sort of apartment building, so they haven't put any furniture up here yet. I'm envisioning some egg chairs along here, some benches, some covering from the sun. I just love it. And it's quiet. It's really just peaceful. So that's Wollongong Escarpment. So this is my new space. This is where I'll be working for the company, and I'll be spending some time on this rooftop garden, chilling out, in between getting my work done, of course. This is my next step. This is where I need to be. Days later now, and I just wanted to say that we've been doing some work this morning with Mark from Ability Links. Can you please enlighten the audience?
Definitely. So today I've been setting up my business, which we've had in plan for a little while, and it's all coming together now. So today with Nina and Mark, we done my domain page. My business name is called The Right Way Disability
I love that.
Support.
I love that.
Thank
And what's
you.
the story behind the name?
Just with other organisations, I could see a few holes that they may have.
Holes in the bucket?
Yeah, definitely holes in the bucket, and I really wanted to fix that. And the only way I could was to go out on my own, implement the things that I didn't see implemented in the bigger companies.
Fantastic.
So The Right Way Disability Support. So I've got my domain page.
Yep, just got to get your business insurance set up.
Yes, so insurance next.
And Mark's going to help you with getting the company structuring right.
Yep.
He's giving you some options for which rostering systems to use and your invoicing apps.
And I'll get a separate phone, won't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do have one at home.
It doesn't like your last name.
The apostrophe.
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day for those who choose to celebrate. I am just having a cup of tea. It's the night before I start my new job, and I thought I'd just have a bit of a honest chat with you about how I'm actually feeling about everything. And I've got to say, if we're being honest, I'm a little lacking in confidence. I have been off work for 7 weeks. There comes a cost with that because of the exacerbation that I had. I think that I've lost a bit of confidence in myself because it's been very difficult to recover from this one. My cognition is certainly not back to baseline. Memory, word recall, processing speed of information, all of that has been affected in the negative, and it just dents your confidence. It really does. I can't speak for anyone else, but that's the way I think for myself. I'm returning to work on a return to work plan, which means that I'm doing like a phased return. So I'm doing a certain amount of hours per day, per week. Travel distance is limited. Whilst I'm really glad that the company is doing that, obviously that's a fantastic thing. It just sort of, I don't know, I kind of feel like I'm already behind the 8 ball. The fatigue is also still pretty bad. I went shopping in Kmart yesterday and spent 2 hours in Kmart, which then necessitated a 2 to 3 hour nap when I got home. It just wiped me out to recover. And I also wanted to say, for those of you that don't have MS or don't know anyone intimately with the disease, have any experience with it, it's a bitch of a disease. It really is. And the cost of it is not ever talked about. Like, I've had 7 weeks off work. I've been living off savings, so there's that cost. I've had to put on extra support staff. That's been another impost on my NDIS budget. The mental health cost, the cost to the economy that I wasn't in work and being productive. So there's all these costs that just add up on top of each other, and I'm starting to ramble, but you know what I'm saying. I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I'm starting a new job tomorrow, and I'm just not my normal confident self. This exacerbation has knocked me sideways. There's a part of me that just gets really tired of living this life. You work so hard to build yourself up to a point where you're functioning and productive and everything's going really well, and then this disease just smashes you down to the ground yet again, and you have to rebuild over and over again. And it's not easy. It really isn't easy. I also thought it probably wise that I actually kind of mention in this vlog what SDA housing and SIL actually is. So I would suggest that if you've got any questions or you want further information, that you talk to your support coordinator or your LAC, or look on the NDIS website, or my best source of information is the Summer Foundation down in Melbourne. If you just Google and look for the Summer Foundation's website, fantastic resource about housing. So housing is designed, the funding for housing is designed for only 6% of the entire population of NDIS participants. It's really hard to get, and it's for those people with extreme functional impairment, very high support needs. So don't get too excited unless you fall into that bracket. I think personally that housing is a human right. For too long, disability housing has been ignored. New South Wales has social housing. I don't think that there's been a great deal of investment into social housing. Certainly not for people with disability, or much less anybody else. Correct me if I'm wrong, 50,000 people on the waiting list, and that's just for general housing. Often for people who are wheelchair users, that cohort, there is not housing options out there that are accessible and affordable. And that is an absolute crying shame. So the NDIA obviously had to address housing at some point. So funding is for the bricks and mortar, and the person then pays 25% of their disability support pension, or the equivalent if they're working, to the housing provider to cover the cost of that's their rental contribution. And SIL is supported independent living. The help and the supervision and the support that a person needs to live as independently as possible in a home. It's usually a shared living arrangement. They used to be called group homes, but now we call them supported independent living. I think that there's a place for SIL. There will always probably be a place for SIL, but I want to see new options come into the paradigm. I want to see ILO, independent living options, open up. That can be where people live with a host family. They might share a house with some flatmates, could be university students, say an OT student and a physio student, and they provide a certain amount of support to the person with a disability, and they could get reduced or free rent in exchange for that support. So I like that option better, because I think if it's done well, it offers great opportunity for integration into the community and greater opportunities for the participant to engage in social and economic participation. That's probably going to be a little bit further down the track. But that's what SIL and SDA is in a nutshell. It's a very detailed area of expertise, and I have a lot to learn, believe you me. I think you can probably tell by the fact that I am rambling that I am a little bit overwhelmed, and I just wish that this MS exacerbation did not happen at the time that it did. And then to have to be going into a new job and learning a whole new role when it's hard enough to get up, go to Woolworths and do some shopping and function in that basic way, than learning a whole new complicated job role like SDA and still housing. But I have faith in myself, and I have faith in the people that I'm going to be working for and with. It's just up here that I've got to get straight. I've got to get right. Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. Today's day one of my new job. I've been awake since 5 a.m. Last night when I went to bed, I was like all over the shop mentally. I was pretty nervous. This morning I've woken up and I'm still kind of nervous, but I'm excited at the same time. This has been a long time coming, and I thought I would tell you how it all happened whilst I get ready. So we're going to do my makeup, and this will be like a get ready with me. So here we go. First product I'm going to be using is this infallible luminizing primer. And when you put this shit on, you kind of glow like the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz. About 6 months ago, a mutual friend, Blair from KM Kite, which is a vehicle modifications company in Queensland that does conversions to make cars into wheelchair accessible vehicles. He messaged me and asked me to meet with a friend of his, or two friends of his actually, but didn't really provide a lot of explanation as to why I needed to do this. So I thought I would go ahead and do it. And I agreed to meet Coda and Omar in a coffee shop in Sydney. I had no idea what I was going there for. And it was bloody cold. It was the middle of July and I'm sitting there frozen. I was with my driver Chev at the time, and I'm sitting there freezing in this tiny little coffee shop, and it's very early in the morning. Weren't a lot of people around. There was a taxi rank out the front. Anyway, so Coda and Oma turn up and we start talking, but the actual reason why they are there is not yet clear to me. They seem to be wanting a lot of information about NDIS, and as you guys know, at the time I was working as a NDIS support coordinator. They wanted a lot of information about NDIS, but they didn't really kind of say why. So I was listening, I was polite, but I was kind of guarded just because I didn't really know what they wanted. So, all right, now we'll go in with our Trini London. This is Trini London BFF Serum De-Stress. Love this stuff. Trini, if you Google, is like a UK brand. She used to be one half of the Trini and Susanna, the show What Not to Wear. Anyway, back to the point. So, I met Coda, and he came in, he was talking and asking lots of questions, and I answered it. And then one thing led to another, and I found, oh my God, I found Coda so intoxicating. I kept using that word on the drive home, but there was something about him in terms of charisma, but also like a quality that you believed that he would do what he said he would do. And so when he started his disability company, I truly did believe that he would go on to be hugely successful. The working relationship developed over the next few months, and then in December of 2020, I was offered a job role with them because they've expanded into the Wollongong area. I remember meeting Steve, his offsider, general manager of the company, at a little cafe, and Steve looked nervous. And if he's nervous, I'm nervous, because what are we nervous about? Anyway, so I met him at this cafe and he offered me a job role, but he told me not to say yes at the time, but to think about it. And I was already happy where I was. I was working as a coordinator, as a sole trader, and I was really happy where I was. Had a good team. I'm still waiting for my NDIS registration to come through and start my own company. So I was quite content, but I really thought about it. I thought about it quite a bit, and I decided to say yes. And it was for two reasons. One, I felt like saying yes and working in the SDA space would be a great opportunity for me to learn more in that area, because it's such a complicated, complex area. And then when I go out on my own and start my own company, I'd be, you know, kind of like an expert in that area. That's one reason. The other reason is I just found it so exciting to be part of something that was growing so big from the ground up. If I chose to stay with the company for, say, a year or even 2 years, just saying, who knows where the possibilities for growth might be. I was thinking about it, whether my answer was going to be yes or no, but then unfortunately, on the 21st of December, I became really unwell and ended up having to go to hospital with an MS relapse. Now I'm going to go in with brow extensions. This is by Maybelline. This is just a brow crayon, which I use just to flesh my eyebrows out a bit. To their credit, even though I was unwell, I had told them that if they needed to pass the job on to somebody else, they could do so, and there wouldn't be any hard feelings on my part. They've been very supportive. They decided to hold the role for me until I was well enough to start. Now I'm well enough to start. This is 7 weeks later. 7 weeks later, they've held that role. This whole journey is so daunting. It's like, I feel like I'm coming into this role with one hand tied behind my back, because I'm still not fully recovered from this relapse. Being off work, for 7 weeks, it's probably cost me anywhere between 10 and 15,000 worth of income. So I'm behind on income. Cognitively and physically, I'm not back to baseline. And because they've held that role for me for 7 weeks, and I'm going in on a return to work plan, not at full capacity, I feel almost guilty. That's the word, almost guilty that I'm being treated with such kind of fairness. I know that sounds quite stupid when I say it, but that's how I feel. So going in now with the Colossal Extreme Mascara. All right, so I've finished and I'm ready. I just thought I'd do outfit of the day, and I'll show you what I'm wearing. So this coat is by City Chic. I only ever buy their stuff when it goes on sale. The blouse also is by City Chic. Don't know if you can see, but I've just got a black skirt on by You and All, and I've got some black boots on from Zierra, and a sexy crutch. I've been using a crutch lately because I've got nerve pain as a result of the MS relapse. Really bad, really bad in my right leg. I've got to try and take the pressure off it, and as a result of having that nerve pain, I'm walking like funny, and now I'm getting plantar fasciitis. So there you go. I am ready for day one. Like my earrings, they're by TS14s. Woo! Yeah, starting to feel a little bit more like myself. Good morning, happy Friday. It's now 2 weeks since I last vlogged, I do believe. Time has passed. I'm in the van today, heading to Sydney with Cindy. Got my Permobil F5 strapped in the back, and I'm going to the headquarters for a strategy meeting. Now, this may not seem like much to you, but for me it's really exciting because since I had the MS exacerbation, I've been on a 20-kilometre restriction, like radius restriction to my house. So this is the first time literally I've been to Sydney in 2 months. So it's nice to kind of start resuming normal life. And how are you, Cindy?
I'm really good, Nina.
Excellent.
Driving the car for the first time.
Yes. How are you finding it?
Smooth. Very smooth.
Smooth is a good way to be.